On a remote island lost in the Pacific, every traveler is required to write a goodbye letter on arrival. Local legend says the rule began after the first disappearance. A visitor who never left, and whose untouched letter remains, collecting dust in a box of unclaimed goodbyes. The story begins with the chug of a battered diesel ferry approaching the misty green profile of Farewell Isle, a dot on Indonesian maps southeast of Sulawesi, locally called Pulau Salam Terakhir. It's August 2025. Most tourists, reassured by travel blogs describing hidden paradise, skip over references to the island's strange welcome ritual. Our protagonist, Nina Wijaya, 32, steps off the rocking deck. Jakarta-born, she's a civil engineer seeking an elusive sense of closure after her father's sudden passing, drawn by tales of healing rituals and psychic shamans who help you let go. Arlo Benoit, 44, a French documentarian with sharp blue eyes and a knack for asking the wrong questions, is here to investigate local beliefs for a Netflix feature. They are joined by a group, Rani and Dimas, a honeymooning couple, Tomoko Yamazaki, a Japanese linguist hunting lost dialects, a quiet older woman named Margaret Klein, whose letter we'll find will end up being the most chilling of all. As Nina and Arlo disembark, an official, a wiry sunburned man in a brown uniform named Pak Seno, hands each traveler a blank sheet of thick cream paper, a fountain pen, and a seal-imprinted envelope. The ferry captain waits, idling. Seno addresses them with rehearsed gravity.
On Farewell Isle, every visitor writes a goodbye letter before you see the island's heart. Your note stays with us until you return home.
He watches their faces.
It's tradition, and it's for your own safety.
Some visitors smile, thinking it a quirky custom. Others, like Margaret, clutch their envelopes tight, as if fearing what may spill onto the page. Nina's hand trembles as she writes her goodbye to her father. Arlo, with more cynicism, pens a quick joke. If I disappear, check the local karaoke bar. Each guest seals their letter. Seno collects them, slips them into a battered metal box, and marks each entry in a registry. The group is led up a winding path cut through choking jungle, passing faded warning signs, respect the spirit, no night swimming, and tumbled stone markers, memorials to missing persons, if you read the dates carefully. It's humid, the tang of brine and rot heavy in the air. The travelers settle at the only guest house, a weathered wooden lodge with salt-stained glass, owned by an enigmatic woman called Ibu Mira. Mira serves cinnamon rice and strong, sugared tea. She carries herself with the bearing of someone who's seen too many grief-stricken guests. Tomoko asks about the letter ritual. Mira's answer is cryptic.
Every goodbye is a promise. The spirits here keep what you leave behind.
Arlo pushes for details on the disappearances, the island's infamous legacy, whispered everywhere but never discussed openly. Pak Seno shrugs. Some wander off, some aren't found. A British backpacker in 1993, a local fisherman in 2008. Nina, restless, wanders outside, finds a rusted board nailed to a tree. There are faded Polaroids, smiling faces tagged unclaimed. Beneath the photos, a journal of final messages from past visitors whose owners never collected them. Night falls quickly. The island seems to shrink in the dark, waves crashing against volcanic rock. In the common room, guests are invited to participate in the farewell toast, a shot of bright green palm wine. Mira leads a chant honoring ancestors, chants that seem somber, almost threatening. Arlo records footage, catching villagers glancing nervously at the group. Rani and Dimas argue gently about whether the letter writing is harmless or some psychological trick. Margaret sits alone by the fire, staring at the flickering flames as if searching for patterns in the smoke. A storm moves in. Power flickers. The generator stutters. Mira offers candles and stories, of visitors who saw shadowy figures in the woods, of lost souls who called out to God and never returned.
You can tell the island your secrets,
She says.
but only once.
Nina considers the consequences of her words in the letter. Ominous, unspoken tension grows as she realizes, here, goodbyes matter. At dawn, Dimas is missing. His bed slept in, sandals gone. Ronnie panics, yelling for help. Locals search the woods, beach, and cliffs. Arlo rushes to film, catching angry exchanges with Mira. Maybe the spirits called him. Maybe he left us. Seno marks Dimas as absent in the registry. Nina finds an unsealed letter tucked under Dimas's pillow. I'm not ready to say goodbye. Next to it, a strand of his favorite prayer beads. The group begins to fracture, each wrestling with dread and guilt. Fear tightens its grip on the guest house. Dimas's disappearance isn't the first. The registry shows 6 other names, unticked, spanning decades. Locals refuse to search the western cliffs after sundown, citing Angin Arwah, the ghost wind said to lure wandering souls. Arlo presses Seno for police records. Seno mutters about unmarked graves, inaccessible terrain, benign but pointed bureaucratic dismissal. Nina and Ronnie join the morning search, picking through razor grass, mossy rocks. They find a pair of sandals at the water's edge, footprints fading into foam. Ronnie crumples, clutching Dimas's bead as if it can anchor him to the earth. Tomoko reads old news clippings she found in Mira's library. British tourist vanishes. Farewell Isle's curse strikes again. 1993. 1993 fisherman never seen since storm. 2008. Mystery of the goodbye letters. Police baffled by ritual. Jakarta Times, 2017. Most haunting is this detail. Not one missing person's letter has ever described an intent to disappear. Many leave loving goodbyes to family, express gratitude, fear, or hope. Yet all remain, gathered in the box, year after year. Arlo, skeptical, proposes the disappearances as staged or psychologically influenced.
It's a perfect storm for people to walk off.
His camera catches villagers watching from doorways, wary. Margaret quietly tells Nina,
If you write your goodbye too well, perhaps the island decides you're finished here.
She recounts how she lost a son years ago. Not here, not this way, she whispers, but feels unsettled by the place's gloomy acceptance of loss. Tomoko discovers Margaret's sealed envelope in the communal box. It is heavier than the others, and unopened. Tomoko reads a passage from a diary written by a vanished visitor.
The night sounds here have shadows. Last night, I dreamt someone read my letter out loud asking if I meant it.
That night, wind rattles shutters, and someone, Nina, glimpses only a silhouette, slips out into the darkness. She finds Margaret outside, staring at the stars, murmuring,
You can feel them leave. Every time.
The next day, Arlo is gone. His room untouched, camera left on the desk, battery dead. Mira sighs. It happens. Seno logs a new absence. The registry now shows 7 unclaimed letters. Nina finds Arlo's filmed interview with Mira in his camera, recovered by Tomoko. On playback, Mira describes the spirits as hungry for closure, hinting some leave only when a visitor is truly done with their life's unfinished business. She quotes a local proverb,
Every goodbye is a bargain. Give it, and the island may keep you, or let you leave forever changed.
Ronnie, numb and angry, accuses Mira of encouraging tragedies. Mira replies,
We do not force goodbyes. It is the traveler who chooses.
The ferry is grounded by the storm. Guests are trapped another night. Tomoko, Shaken proposes that the ritual, compelling a farewell, acts as a psychological test. If you have a goodbye in you, something in this place makes you finish it. For real. Mina reads her own letter again, wondering if she's sealed her fate. Something subtle shifts. Instead of fear, Nina feels profound empathy for the vanished. She stands on the misty rocks, the box of letters in hand. She reads fragments aloud, words of apology, hope, regret, echoing across the crashing sea. Margaret draws closer.
You realize everyone here is trying to let go. Some do it too well.
Mina asks.
If you could speak one last thing to someone you lost, what would it be?
Margaret.
Not goodbye. I'd say, wait for me.
Real-world facts thread through. A Jakarta Times reporter who tried to debunk the legend in 2017 ended up writing his own letter and never boarded the return ferry. Local police logs document 6 disappearances between 1993 and 2017. FOIA requests into Indonesian tourism safety found no official explanation, but Farewell Isle remains flagged as high risk for psychosocial incidents. That night, Margaret vanishes. Tomoko finds her letter left atop the box, unstamped. If you find me gone, know that it was my time. Senyo shrugs. Not everyone returns. But Tomoko uncovers an old ledger in the guest house attic. A record showing villagers once left their own letters, but stopped after the first mass disappearance. A 1969 tragedy. Mira explains, haunted.
We lost too many that day, so now it's only strangers who write their goodbyes.
Nina, gutted, feels both horror and acceptance. Rani, nearly catatonic, boards the finally restored ferry. Tomoko leaves with the ledger, swearing to preserve the story. Nina returns to the box, determined and terrified. She requests to read her own goodbye letter. Mira and Senyo hesitate, but finally allow it. Nina reads her paragraphs aloud, voice shaking. To my father, I can't say goodbye. You're not gone from me. It's then she realizes, everyone who left an open ending in their letter, those who didn't fully say goodbye, returned. Everyone who wrote true closure vanished. Tomoko pieces together the ledger. In every case, the letter's tone matches the outcome. Finality, acceptance, gone. Ambivalence, unprocessed grief, safe return. Nina, shaken, gathers the remaining guests.
Our fates aren't decided by spirits, but by what we admit in our goodbye. This ritual is less a curse than a mirror for those hoping to escape something within.
Tomoko records, promising this footage will honor, not sensationalize, the vanished. Days later, a special ferry arrives, and survivors leave the island. Pa Senyo closes the registry, locks away unclaimed letters. Mira, somber, places Margaret's letter on top, a shrine among many. Future visitors will continue the ritual. Most will return. Some may not. In the months and years after our story, Farewell Isle becomes myth and warning. Tomoko's Netflix documentary draws attention and debate. Tourists write their letters. Social media threads explode with theories. Soul-stealing ritual? Elaborate psychological stressor? Police continue logging disappearances, now more robustly tracked by Jakarta's national database. Survivors become advocates. Nina starts a grief support foundation, focusing on rituals and trauma recovery. Some call for the letter tradition to end. Others defend it as catharsis. The island's lasting moral question: does saying goodbye ever actually heal us? Or do words written in the grip of overwhelming emotion risk summoning consequences we can't foresee? Is the act of closure, in its truest form, sometimes too powerful, capable of severing ties we didn't mean to cut? Or is closure the only path to truly moving forward, no matter the risk? Every time a new visitor seals their envelope, the island waits, holding its breath. Who will return? Whose goodbye will remain? Don't forget to subscribe to Real Mystery Reports for more strange, dark, and profoundly human stories. New true mysteries every day.